Welcome back, everyone. As always, I'm Noah Mueller. We got a lot to talk about today, including Double or Nothing shaping up to be a great PLE, including King and Queen of the Ring shaping up. So without further ado, let's get ready to rumble.
And I love it when you watch me sing. You spin me around so I can breathe. It's only safe for you and me. I know you won't let me OD. And if I finally die in peace, just wrap my body in these sheets and pour out the gasoline. It don't mean much to me.
So our first two topics of the day are going to be King and Queen of the Ring related, with our King and Queen of the Ring tournaments progressing through the Raw and SmackDown episodes to find out who the King and Queen of the Ring will be. My final prediction for King of the Ring, it's been a great tournament, but I think in the end it's going to end up being Gunther from Raw taking on Randy Orton from SmackDown. And with that, I think we get King Gunther. I think he brought prestige back to the IC title. I think he could do it with the King of the Ring since we haven't had many memorable winners in the past few years. But I think giving Gunther this name could be a big thing because he gets his world title shot finally that we've been so long asking for, and he gets it so soon as well. And he can choose whenever he wants. So this could be a big power move for Gunther. I think him versus Randy Orton could be a great match, but in the end I have him winning it just because I don't think this is the point in Randy Orton's career where he should be winning big things like this. You know, obviously we want him to have one more world title run. I just don't think it's in the cards. But for my Queen of the Ring prediction, I have Io Sky from Raw taking on Tiffany Stratton in the final. And with that, I have probably the biggest upset of the tournament. I think we're going to have Queen Tiffany. So short into her main roster run, but she's been turning a lot of heads, and I truly think putting her as Queen of the Ring could be a big step for her in her career and securing her first world title on the main roster. And I think she's built for it. I think on her time in the main roster, I feel like she's done a great job with it. I feel like, as I said, she's turned a lot of heads, and she definitely deserves this as long as she keeps putting in the great in-ring body of work that she has. I think this would be a great name to put on her. But to our actual matches at the King of the Ring PLE, the main event is going to be Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. I don't know if we're unifying the titles or not. They didn't quite state that, but it's World Champion versus U.S. Champion. And, you know, this is kind of giving me shades of Seth Rollins versus John Cena, where they unified the titles and Seth Rollins ended up beating John Cena. But I hope they don't unify the titles because Logan's a great U.S. Champion, and you know they're not going to make Cody lose this early into his reign. But I think if they do unify the titles, I think Cody ends up relinquishing the U.S. title, and then we have a tournament to see who wins it, which I think would probably end up being LA Knight. But I really hope that it's Logan Paul loses his title in a match to LA Knight rather than losing it to Cody Rhodes and then going through all this unification stuff as we have been the last couple of years. I feel like the right choice is just to have this be only for the Universal title and have Cody win in a great match. But moving to AEW here, for Double or Nothing, we got an Anarchy in the Arena match confirmed. We got the Young Bucks, Kazuchika Okada, and Jack Perry, the Elite, against Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston, them teaming up for the first time, and FTR. You know, obviously Anarchy in the Arena matches are great, but having Danielson and Eddie Kingston team up is something a little bit different that we haven't seen before, and we finally get to see the full Elite in action as a team, so that'll be exciting. But for my winner, I do have Danielson, Kingston, and FTR winning. But we're going to New Japan here. We're going for the first time ever to New Japan on Chair Shot Wrestling. Jack Perry and the Young Bucks invaded New Japan and attacked Eddie Kingston after his loss to Gabe Kidd for the New Japan Strongweight Championship or Openweight Championship. I don't know which one it is, but Eddie Kingston has lost all his titles. He lost his Continental Classic title. He lost his Strongweight title. And Eddie Kingston is just no longer a champion. You know, he had a good run with both titles, but I think it was good to split them up between different people and different brands. You know, building that relationship with New Japan and keeping their title on their show. I think that was a big thing. Giving Gabe Kidd his first title was definitely a great choice. But it was very exciting to see Jack Perry, back in New Japan. New Japan really did wonders for his career, and now he's with the Elite. It's a complete change of scenery for him, and I think he's doing a great job with what he's had so far, and I think this whole new Elite group is very good, and they've been the most entertaining thing on AEW recently, and honestly, I prefer this over the Undisputed Kingdom that we've had, because the Undisputed Kingdom has been very, very boring. And this is a new group, change of scenery. They haven't gotten boring week by week. And I think it's a very great thing for AEW. But another match confirmed for Double or Nothing. We're going to have Adam Copeland taking on Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage match for the TNT title. And obviously, it's Adam Copeland and Malachi Black finally getting a singles match. I don't know how long it's been since he's had a singles match. He might have had one recently before that, but I remember hearing that there was a huge gap between his last singles match, and everyone thought it was because of his back injury and how they didn't want to risk that. But he's getting a singles match, and he's getting it nonetheless in a barbed wire steel cage match. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Honestly, if I were Tony Khan, I would put the belt on Malachi Black. I think Copeland has had a good run with it, but at the same time, Copeland's getting up there in age. But I do think he's going to have Copeland retain, sadly, because I don't know what's going on with Malachi Black. As I said in the last episode, he might be going to WWE without House of Black, but we'll just have to see. But moving back to WWE now, the NXT stars who were called up in the draft have been doing impressive things, as Ilya Dragunov and Lyra Valkyrie are doing their thing on Raw and in the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments on each episode. And obviously Carmelo Hayes, he's him doing his thing on SmackDown. He just beat Baron Corbin to move on in the King of the Ring tournament. So, we're getting some very exciting prospects from NXT. They haven't really done much with Braun Breaker yet, but I think we're waiting for that big moment where Breaker gets a title match out of nowhere. And in the future, I think that he's going to end up pairing himself with Paul Heyman, which that's a far thing in the future because obviously Roman still has a decent amount of career left. But it's going to be exciting to see what they do with all these stars. For the people that are already impressing right now, they're doing a great job. But our final topic of the day is my prediction for Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch at King and Queen of the Ring. Obviously in the Battle Royal, we were all mad that Becky Lynch went over Liv Morgan because we thought they were building up Liv Morgan and that she deserved this title. And I still truly think she does, which is why here I'm going to pick Liv Morgan to become and new Women's World Champion. I just think that, Becky Lynch has had the title. Sure, she's had like a match or two defending it, but it just hasn't been exciting. It hasn't been a Becky Lynch run. And I'm not a Becky Lynch hater whatsoever. I think she's a great wrestler. I just think we've put the title on her so many times that we need to give her a break of it. I mean, we even put the NXT title on her to make her look interesting. But Liv Morgan deserves this world title run. I feel like she's earned it. She's come back from multiple injuries in the past year, and I think that this would be good for her, and I think it'd be good for when Rhea Ripley comes back, so we finally get that Liv Morgan-Rhea Ripley title match that we've all been anticipating. Sadly, that'll be all for us this week. Don't worry, those will be back next week with the newest wrestling news from WWE, AEW, and TNA. As always, thank you all for watching. This is Noah Mueller signing out. We'll see you next week on Chairshot Wrestling.